The Traverse City Curling Club here in Traverse City, Michigan, site of the 2024 Mixed Doubles USA Curling National Championship. Throughout the course of this week, 16 teams have been vying for the right to represent the United States at the 2024 World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship in Östersund, Sweden. The field is now whittled down to 4. Our semifinal action. This morning you see the draw, Thiesse and Dropkin taking on Geving and Shuster. That will be our feature matchup on one semifinal. And on the other, Hamilton taking on Anderson-Richardson. 4 teams that have been in the mix the last few years in the mixed doubles scene, vying to represent the United States at the Worlds. We have a couple of great matchups lined up. Again, our feature matchup. See the competitors getting warmed up. Cory Thiesse and Cory Dropkin on one side, the defending world champions. And on the other, a couple of Olympians, John Shuster and Aileen Geving. Tyler George here, joined by good buddy and first take star, live mic champion, Danny Casper. Danny, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited for this.
Oh, geez, and I get Dean Gemmel on the screen. I think I got to at least get
That's brutal.
top billing now. We did when we had Lance Wheeler in. We got Dr. Lance Wheeler on the screen because he is a doctor.
Yeah,
we learned that this
true.
week. We also learned his wife did not know what he was a doctor of, which was really fun to learn live on air. So, Danny, these two teams you're very familiar with, and both the men's scene and the women's scene and the mixed doubles scene. So, what do we know about these teams going in?
Yeah, obviously lots of experience for both of them in doubles and four-person. Cory and Korey obviously being the reigning world champions know plenty what they're doing out there, but that's not to take anything away from John and Aileen, who are also, pros at this. So both very smart teams that aren't going to make many tactical errors or ice errors and things like that, so it should be fun to watch.
Ton of experience on both sides of the coin. Thiesse and Dropkin will have hammer in the first end of this matchup by virtue of being the top seed, undefeated in this tournament. It's been a while since we've seen these two lose a game in national competition for mixed doubles. A lot of success on tour as well. Aileen Geving will get us started off. In turn draw.
10 on the dot. Look at you today.
Line's good.
Some good positive energy
really
from
nice.
Shuster right out of the gates.
Line hold it.
Love the time they got for this first shot. Danny, I haven't done a game on this sheet yet this week. I've done sheet C about 15 times.
Nice
I think D once or twice. Nice shot by Aileen to start. On a few of the sheets, especially on C, we've seen it faster going away in the odd ends and then slower coming back by up to maybe a half a second. What do we know about this sheet here? Fill us in.
Yeah, well, in terms of the speed, like you mentioned, I think throughout the week that's definitely true, a little faster going away. And we actually noticed last night in the quarters that it might have been even more of a difference than maybe we noticed throughout the week. But this sheet over here on the end, perhaps the straightest sheet, but still great speed and predictable over there.
Can't.
Cory Thiesse's first draw follows the same path, moves those stones around, so a little space to move rocks around in the house.
Full speed.
Yeah.
I had like 14 on that.
Yeah, 13.9.
I had 13.89, yeah. So, all right. Try to throw you 25.
So Shuster referring to the speed we're seeing already, Danny, that you feel that it's right up to the speed they expected for a top speed.
I don't think you got to go much, though.
2 stones into the game.
Yeah, it's been impressive this week that it hasn't taken much for the ice to speed up. Even right away in practice before the game, the speed's been pretty good. So right off the bat, you see pretty good conditions, which is always nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like some good curl on this side. End sheets tend to have more curl going towards the wall side than coming off of it. So have you seen it be a little bit straighter on the opposite side of the sheet?
Yeah, I would agree on that wall side, like you said, a little bit straighter. So, but even then, with that being said, they've done a pretty good job of keeping the sides relatively even.
And the speed has been so consistent throughout the week. No surprise from Sean Olison and his crew that they've done a fantastic job. And it always helps to be doing ice in a curling club, so you're not starting from scratch. You're just improving on the conditions that already exist.
Yeah, they do a great job, and you know, even before they got here, I was hearing from lots of people that just this club's ice in general is really quick and nice ice, so I'm sure that helps too.
This one hanging out a little bit on Dropkin. So just moves those stones around a little bit, sitting first and looks like third as well.
Or would you get?
I had a 14-2.
Okay.
Probably.
2, but same deal. They make the run. They are line 2. I don't know. It's either the freeze or the double. I could play the double, but he's just probably doubles back. But although that middle one's in jail.
Right.
But I think I'm just gonna go freeze into the pocket.
Okay.
Helps so much to be able to run through shots quickly in your mind. Only getting 22 minutes of thinking time for the entire game for 8 ends. And John will talk through the entire end for our benefit on these broadcasts. Tell us exactly what he expects to happen on the next 3 or 4 shots. So kind of the third member of the commentary crew usually when we have his games.
Right, that helps.
Okay, line's good. All you.
And doubles obviously is so fast-paced and quick.
Always straight.
It's
no bounce if you can. Yep.
definitely gotta be thinking ahead
Right to the pocket. Go.
throughout the whole game.
Not a bad spot there for Shuster.
First thought was that they all go right here.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Hit like a quarter,
Yep.
a thin quarter,
Okay.
like right here.
Looks good.
You think it's gonna curl
This
at all? Maybe a little
could
bit?
potentially
Maybe
be
just a little
problems
bit.
for John and Aileen
Okay.
after this
Here?
one finishes. Seems like all yellows could potentially go.
Just a hair less.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a third of a stone, half a stone, somewhere in there, and they may all go.
Yeah.
As you heard John say, if it goes another 6 inches, they probably don't have that shot, but just enough separation. Dropkin thinks he can get all 3 yellows going, and with hammer, as you said, Danny, would put John and Aileen in a little trouble early, so be in turn, peel weight for Dropkin.
Close. Yep. Yep. Hard.
Close.
Go, go, go.
That's a pretty good result.
Yep.
Essentially a triple as they are sitting 3.
Let's go, Korey.
I think I didn't see inside
Really
that
good by Cory.
far enough to do that.
Yeah.
Seen him make a lot of those this
Still think
season,
I'm going
not
peel,
just
though.
in doubles,
Double
but
and half roll.
on the
Gotta make
men's
sure both
side
those
too.
go.
Yeah, even moving that yellow just out to the open. You know, getting it out of the rings is always preferable, but like you said, pretty much a triple moves that out of the way of everything.
So big shot now for Shuster, trying to play the double and roll. Also in turn for John.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Other one?
No, no, no. Just let it be. On the one that's hitting, the middle one, well, that's fine. That's okay.
Looks like they're sitting second. Decent position.
Yeah, that ended up in an interesting spot.
You can do
They
that.
try a double
Right.
on those yellows,
Probably
jams on the
sitting
back
two.
red. So
Right.
I don't know if
Otherwise,
fortunate's
I
the
guess
word, because I'm sure they were aware of that.
Yeah,
but
just-
you know,
might
not as
have
bad as it
it.
could have been for John.
That's a delicate shot here
Maybe
for
like
Dropkin. Does have a hole, he can hit
whatever you
that through and probably still sit 3.
I don't mind playing this. Otherwise, another option is you could play this.
It's still your shot. You're throwing it.
You as in us.
Okay.
We.
Whatever you want to throw.
The royal
can, like,
we,
roll.
Cory.
Yeah, I think it would do this, though. I think they're playing this tap.
Yeah.
Let's make this
Okay.
and sit right there.
Yep. 10-5.
And if we make that roll out, it's not the end of the world. I'm thinking like a 10.
Okay.
So you heard 10, Danny, so playing just a solid control weight. You want to have it soft enough that the shooter sticks around, but enough weight that it gives you a little margin for error if it does catch a piece of that back redstone.
Right, yeah, this is a delicate shot, and you see, maybe since it's the first end, throwing this a tad harder than later in the game,
Whoa.
still getting used to the ice, but
Whoa.
like you said,
10.
a little extra weight allows for
Whoa.
it to jam
Curl.
and still roll off to a
Curl.
good spot.
Trying to get this to turn a little bit.
Great call. Sit, 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 sit. Pretty good.
Well, sits first,
Yeah.
third, and fourth.
Pretty tricky. I mean, you
Pretty
can just
close
roll
on
straight.
10. I
Yeah.
think that was
Even if
about
you
the
just
weight
roll
they
here,
wanted.
They have to draw for one.
Yep.
But an interesting stagger, Danny,
I
on
think
those
you
two
got it.
reds on this side
You
of the
don't have a
sheet.
ton of the rock.
It's
is
kind of
the
a
issue we have
difficult
here,
hit
but
and roll
you
if
can
you
roll
do want
all
to
the
play
way
the number
over
one
to that
counter.
back one over here.
So I think they're playing
fine.
off the top stone.
I'll grab your rock for you.
Yeah, I think the idea too, they play off the top stone and make a roll, and even though it's not shot, like you said, that red one that is shot might
what are
end
you
up being
thinking?
a catcher for them.
I think I don't mind 10-5.
I'm thinking 10. Yeah.
I think 10-5. I think 10 might be. And I'm thinking broom-wise, like 3 inches off the rock for the 10. It'll curl a little bit today.
Yeah, it'll move a little.
So,
Not too much.
yeah.
It's really important, first and foremost, to stick around here, Danny, but nose really isn't any good. So this does need
Nice
to
man.
roll in.
Curl, curl.
Yeah, and this is that side coming off
Hard
the wall,
curl,
even though
yep.
it's inside out. See how much curl they can get. It's been a little straight.
Great spot. Great shot, Aileen.
That's a pretty good shot, sitting 2, so either a simple shot, mostly
Great
open
shot,
for a
man.
single, or a
Well,
much more risky
the
double
draw, you
for
wanna
2,
play the
which I
top?
don't think they'll take
Maybe a
on.
little tap.
Yeah, whatever you like. Basically, like your first
Yeah, I think
shot.
Yeah.
both
Oh, that was the
Corys have
intern
been
for your first shot.
Right.
pretty open about the fact that, you know, they like
The
to
draw or
score
the tap, what do
first.
you
So in a
think?
I think I'll just
situation
throw a
like
draw.
this, it's
Okay,
a pretty
I like
tough
that.
shot for multiple. And
I like that, and I'll let you
you know,
know
the
if
way
we
that
need
they
to go
like
for
to
any
play, and
rub.
just in doubles in general, it's nice to
But
get on the board
should
first.
be good here. It is
Like
maybe
a-
a hair fresh on this side. But I think like a 14-8 should be good.
Yep. And like middle?
So
I
Dropkin
think
looking for a
middle is good.
14-8.
I think middle
Heard
to
for
thick
hog
here.
to hog
Yeah.
time. We'll get a clock on
Alright,
this
Corey.
one. Just a draw to the 4-foot for Cory Thiesse. Final stone of this first end.
Okay. I would like to play the tap.
Usually if I can
Hey,
make it through the
easy,
first
line's
end without
good.
saying Christensen
Where?
Back
for her
8.
last name, then I'm good for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I think we're good.
Curl.
Off to a good start.
Okay, it's trying to come down.
Line's good.
Yeah, maybe a little more weight
Line's
than they
good.
expected
Great
for
shot,
hog to
Corey.
hog, so it does need the backing.
Nice throw.
But well read by Dropkin, well thrown by Thiesse. They do get their single
Spanglish.
after one end of play, leading
Once in a
1-0.
while.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Opening single for Thiesse and Dropkin.
Yep.
Line's good.
I like it.
Mostly
Okay.
open
You
first
got some
end.
room. You got a little room.
They lead 1-0 over
If you have to, though. I
should
think
curl.
it's
Geving
gonna
and
be
Shuster.
good.
Should curl.
Tyler
Line's
George
gonna be
here with
good.
Danny Casper.
Line's perfect.
Danny, we're already getting flooded with texts
Really
from
curling
people
now.
who are so excited that
Yep.
you're going to be in the booth here, and
Hard!
we've been waiting all week for this
Hard!
opportunity.
Yeah, it's an honor
Go, go, go,
to
go,
receive
go, 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 go.
Curls
the
and
credit.
dive.
Usually people
throw.
are looking forward to seeing my sweeping
15,
prowess out
1.
there on the ice, but, you know, commentary is, I'll take that as well.
My bad.
Yeah, you're
Throw.
just broadening your horizons.
You can go a little.
So I think it's really good.
Right.
You may see in
Mine's
the
good.
background
Wait, Oddly.
4-0 start for Matt and Becca Hamilton in our other semifinal matchup. Matt and
really
Becca, their
nice.
backs
You
are
might
up
need to go
against
around
the
it.
wall. Basically, the
Round it.
second half of the round
Yep,
robin
you
on
can.
after
No,
starting
no,
1 and
it's
2.
good,
They
it's
haven't
good.
lost since.
Atta girl.
Now,
Great shot.
A 4-0 start to
Pistol.
get to the final.
Yeah, they've been able to turn it on those
Outturn.
last few games, like you
Great throw,
said, and
Aileen.
obviously off to a great start here in the first.
What'd you clock that?
I did 16 in there.
Okay, perfect.
And that's a steal of 4, too, in that game, I believe, because of the seeding. Their opponents had hammer in the first end.
Mine's good. Got a little room.
Okay.
Still running.
Looking at back
Really
four
good
right now.
position
Okay,
here for
mine's
Geving
getting
and
close.
Schuster.
Stay close.
Weight's good.
Out turn side from Dropkin,
Easy,
trying to
line's
come
fine.
around those two stones.
Close.
Max.
Yep. Yep. You're by, you're by,
Should
you're
be
by.
by.
Bite.
Bounces off, and
That's right.
Geving and Schuster still shot rock, but second and third for Thiesse and Dropkin.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna try to throw like hack the board.
Okay.
Danny, it's been kind of a whirlwind couple
I
of
could go
years
around. He just went too.
for you as
It's
a
tough to get there now.
player
I think,
personally,
yeah,
for
those
your
are the
team,
two options.
getting to play in your first
I think
Grand
I-
Slam this
Kinda
year.
simple. See, if I hit
What
the
we
guard,
kind of
like,
looked
you
at
can't
as the
make
pool
double
of death for your team, too.
I'm gonna
If
try
you're going
to
to start
throw
out
it
in a
all the way
slam, I
and
believe
stay
it was
12 over here.
Mowat, Dunstone, and Cooey for your group.
Yeah, and Retornaz.
Oh, Retornaz,
So they're
that's
all
right.
right.
Yeah. And Retornaz the other team.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy on us, but no slams are easy, so it was great to
Hard.
get that first
Gotta go.
experience, and had a great time, and
Whoa.
lucky enough
Yep,
to pull
yep,
out the win
yep,
there.
yep. Hard.
Schuster with the
Oh,
short run
that's
in.
pretty good.
Angles look
Think.
pretty good there. I don't think that goes anywhere but onto that back yellow one. So
Triple, I don't believe, is there.
Play
If
that,
we
or do you
draw
want
But
to just
yeah,
freeze?
the slams, once you get to that level,
Yeah.
that's the toughest competition in the world, more so than a World
Otherwise,
Championships or an
Play
Olympics
that
with
and get
regard
rid
to
of
the
two
field.
yellows.
Right.
The teams
I
that
like
you play
making the
against there,
draw.
if you can compete with them, you
Okay.
can play with
Let's make
anybody.
it.
And you
Okay.
did get your first slam win in that tournament too.
Yeah, it was nice to get off the bat early in the first one. Hopefully there's more
wanna
to
come,
come in
time?
the future.
Sure.
And yeah, like you said, tough competition every game, and just not a lot of
Thinking
places
middle
you'd
for
rather
ice?
be in terms
Yeah.
of events.
And great to qualify for that event by winning
Yeah,
a
I think
separate
that'd be
event
nice.
too, the
10 to
Tour
15.
Challenge Tier 2.
Yeah, that felt
Champions.
nice. That Tier 2, I think, you know, we kind of thought we were out of the mix in terms of making the playoffs there, and got a little fortunate with LSDs and records and things
Okay,
like
like
that,
it.
so that freed us up to,
Line's close.
you know, play
Line's
well
good.
in
We
the
don't-
playoffs.
Weight's
It almost
nice.
felt like we were playing with house money
Line's
there a little
nice.
bit.
Gotta
It
go
was like
round.
a couple inches or
Always
something, or a
curl.
couple centimeters on
Okay.
Yeah, they had
LSD to
to,
get in.
I'm not exactly sure, but they had to, we were tied, and they had to go to an
curling it.
extra
Go, go, go,
LSD
go, go,
throw
go,
that
go.
wasn't necessarily
Oh,
in the rule book for
Okay.
how they were
Not bad.
going to
Yeah.
plan on doing it. So, yeah, we got a
So-
little fortunate and just let us play free and have fun.
Well, they
And,
probably
you
shot
know,
it.
we always play well when we're
I
having
think
fun.
I can
so
go through this same
ended
way
up
right now, Aileen.
well
throw
for
the same
us.
thing I just threw, and even if I go click here and move that over and sit right here is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could get it even with the in, too.
That's a really nice
Yeah.
draw there by
mean, I
Korey
could.
Dropkin. Any deeper in that yellow
Yeah,
yellow is
Thinking I
lined
got
up
so
to
many
clear it.
options if I get close on this
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I like it.
So I think changing that stagger is not bad for us either.
Right, I was just thinking that.
So if I get to the
That's
same line I just got to, I think
The
they're
rock
close.
placement that we've seen from Thiesse
I
and
can throw a little
Dropkin
less, too.
for so long now as a team, how precise they are with that stone. Again, if it's a foot deeper, it's not great. If it's a foot higher, it's not great. That's exactly where that stone needed to be.
Whoa, whoa,
And that's
close
tough to
though.
do, getting up and sweeping that on
Close.
your own stone as well. having that specific rock placement. So it's always impressive to watch.
Shuster trying to get this to curl and dig that rock out. Maybe come off their own. Oh, almost got it to feather that top stone, which probably would have pushed it out of the 4-foot. Appreciate Chris Plies' viewership this morning. We're quite certain he's tuned in from checking in with you. How excited he was that you're in the booth to call the game.
Yeah, I'm sure this made his day, week, month, whatever you want to call it.
I can't imagine how happy he must have been to hear your voice.
Yeah.
When that was turned on. Your banter with him during the playoff games in the Nationals was pretty clear for all of us to hear, and the sniping, as you're kind of the big brother, he's the little brother in that relationship.
Of course, 100%. Yeah, we have a good time out there. It's nice to be able to do that on the ice, even in big games. You know, we're all out there just having fun and trying our best, so, you know, we like to maybe throw some jabs at each other.
9.
Okay, better add.
Hey, line's good.
T.
Easy for line. Easy
In-turn
for line.
draw from Dropkin. For those wondering why
you can't for line.
Thiesse was standing at the hog line and
Line
then
straight.
Dropkin sweeping his own stone anyways. We asked him about that, and you see really nice tap there from Korey. Good position. They may both go still, but a good shot. That Korey prefers to have a split time for his own stones, even if he's going to sweep them, as opposed to throwing to a broom. So he wants that clock from Cory Thiesse
I think
immediately.
They both probably fly too.
And that's more important to him than the broom to throw at.
Yeah, that's
a little unusual, but
yeah. I mean, there's different teams have their ways of doing things. I think that's probably, like you said, less popular, of him preferring that over a broom. Not that it's bad in any way, but that's good. You know, they obviously have experience and have figured out what works for them.
Yep. Hard. Whoa.
Shuster playing the double.
Hard, Aileen.
Gets those moving pretty good. Red still sitting 1, but 2, 3, 4 now all in a line for Geving and Shuster. So a little dangerous for Shuster and Geving.
Or not.
Ooh.
If you make
Boy,
this.
what do you like here, Danny?
Yeah.
She's just got this for 2.
Yeah, this is tough.
Right.
I mean, those 3 yellows lining up the house, she can run in probably 2 of those into that back red, and it's a little scary. So I think they're trying to look at moving things around, and
even
you
if
see
you just
Korey
bump it to here,
motioning there to remove one of the yellows and hopefully scooch another one over to a spot where a run back might be challenging.
Okay.
I heard Peel wait.
Yeah, I think this is the right call.
Okay.
Dropkin thinks that you can pocket those 2 on the left side and leave your number 1 covered. They don't want to move that stone by any means because that's essentially a guard, even though it's a short run. But if they can make this double, you're probably staying away from more than 1 point.
Right, and even if they're able to hit this one a little thick and just move that other yellow over to a stagger, those 2 yellows, and eliminate the possibility of a run back for Aileen coming up.
Whoa,
get up a little bit.
Hard, whoa, curl.
Ooh, lined it up though, so there may be a shot for 2.
God, you might be able to make this for more than 2. Like, you have to get this rock out anyways in order for this one to count. So right now, Aileen, you're playing here, cross, you're playing this double. You hit this anywhere, we're scoring, so.
Right.
And I don't think it drags too hard, so.
But to make this double, I got to hit it pretty thin.
That's fine. It's still, that's the only way we get 2, so you got to make that anyways.
Okay.
So. I mean, it's an absolute gimme for 1.
Right.
So, but you hit it right. There's a chance there's a 4 in here. I mean, if you throw Peel and hit.
A third?
It's a thin half.
I don't know that I see 4.
Yeah, a third is probably.
Yeah, I think
maybe
might be missing a
I
yellow
don't know
rock.
that this one's going to release.
I think there's a biter in the back of the 12, but
absolutely.
I still don't see all the yellows staying. I think where you have to hit this to get the red in the top of the 8s, that top yellow probably spills. But we're going to find out. Final stone of this second end, trying to play the in-off and run back. too thick, I think, to
Get out. All right, that's for 2.
lose
Good.
it back, but does get 2. So good result there. Nice shot from
Good shot.
Aileen Geving. They do get their 2 after 2 ends of play.
It was not
Geving and Shuster leading 2-1.
That was the only way we're getting.
And of course, after the second end, we'd like to talk to you about Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years. Proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, they have all of the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. Visit at stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Good crowd on hand here on Sunday morning here in Traverse City, Michigan at the Traverse City Curling Club. Facility just opened up a year ago, January, already hosting a national championship event. And we are in the semifinals, the 2024 USA Curling Mixed Doubles National Championship. Aileen Geving, John Shuster with a 2 in the second end. Take a 2-1 lead over the defending world champions, Cory Dropkin, Corey Thiesse. Tyler George here with WUGS bronze medalist, silver medalist, Danny Casper. You got to at least get your medal right. Jesus, silver's way better than bronze.
I think we want to be fully buried.
Men's silver medalist and bronze medalist from the last couple of years.
Yes.
Couple podium finishes.
I think that's close.
Just keep racking up those medals.
Yeah, you know, we try to add some more colors to the medal cabinet as well here in the future.
Mine's nice.
Okay.
Not close.
Weight's nice.
Okay, you got a little room.
Okay.
Running kind of nice.
Top 8. Top 4 almost.
Yeah.
Got a curl.
Needs to curl still.
That wrecking the guard. Couple of
We're top
corners. We'll get maybe a more traditional curling end here.
Oh, easy.
Thiesse trying to tuck a piece at least under
I can nose freeze that or give it a little
the
bump.
semi-corner guard.
That's fine, Cor.
Yeah.
Did you get a hot dog there?
Yeah, slipped a
weight.
little
I had a
deeper
15
there
on
than they wanted.
Yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you heard John say he's
so.
going to maybe freeze or just tap it back a little bit with that being deeper and already on the tee line. John, you might see John here tap that back a little bit and create a pocket for themselves, not having hammer.
$30?
Okay, go then. Go then. I added though. It should be okay. Close. Whoa. Whoa,
Just
line.
looking to tap these to a pocket.
Wait only. Got to just be T line.
Needs to get up quite a
Hey,
ways.
right off then.
8.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Still
You
on
go
the
past
corner
the top
guard.
one maybe. Yeah, it's got to go. Let it be, Aileen.
Sneaks
Let
by.
it be. Let.
I don't
Let
think
it be,
that's
let
the
it be.
one they were playing too.
All right.
That works.
It ends up settling into the back of the button. And maybe a
Might
little
leave
quicker
them
going
blow.
away, Danny.
Like, they might just
as
blow
we
it
talked
up.
about.
What?
Right, I mean, you heard John out of hand.
We're just curious if they
You
blow
know,
it up.
when he heard the split that he threw, thought it was pretty
I don't
light.
mind it though. Let's
Told
play
Aileen to
that.
just go ahead, but
Little less.
slid a little deep on him. Made a pretty good audible there halfway down the sheet and went to the back one.
Dropkin trying to follow on the
Mine's
same
close.
path.
Back 4.
Close.
Back 4. Back 8.
Stay
Saw
close.
a video
Yep.
from a training weekend of Corey snapping a broom and going
Yep.
almost
Hard
face
line.
first down on the ice from all the pressure he gets
Close.
when he sweeps.
He snapped 2 brooms that day.
I heard there was a
Yeah.
second one. I didn't see the footage of the other one.
I think I I was a couple sheets
if I
over,
hit
and
this one
they were
first-
probably within 5 minutes of each other.
There might be just enough space. There's probably not very much drag. So I think if hit him at the same time, it probably should clip that.
If it'll go back.
I think so. I mean, it's lined up edge on edge right now, so I think it will.
All right.
I mean, the problem, yeah.
It's either that or just the one and roll in
No,
front,
no,
but
this is
I like getting rid of more.
trying to think of what turn I'm going to throw here. I want that thing to go spinning off the hard.
So looks like Shuster's trying to get all of these moving.
Although I think the end like lines up with the shot. No, that's fine. They're both going to run straight. So.
Back to us in the booth after our on-ice correspondent takes care of the commentary. Outturn peel weight for Shuster. And there they all go, as John said.
That's a great shot.
And rolls under the guard just for fun. John's been sharp in the early going. See a nice smile from Coach Wife in the corner. Shuster says, worst slide of his week. But we're all artists, Danny. Doesn't matter how we get there.
The broom is just a recommendation.
Yeah. Staying upright is really all that matters, and sometimes that's not even necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was for you, Mr. Benton. Todd Burr from 2 knees, right on the lid.
Mine's good. Where?
Come around draw for Dropkin.
Okay, mine's nice.
Trying to find a 2 with the last 2
Wait
stones
only.
of their end.
Wait only. Mine's really
Wait's nice.
Got to curl a little bit, but should get there. Stay close.
No, don't want to.
Trying to
online.
just corner this, maybe tap it a touch, but don't want to roll open.
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
Nice throw.
Good call.
I think yellow might still be shot by just an inch or
You
2.
just play the run here. Are they shot?
Yeah,
or we
either
shot?
way, if you're John, you probably have
think it's
to
us,
address
but-
this. Corey
Yeah,
and
it's us.
Corey
Yeah,
have
just play the run.
a good angle on it, but
My math was off. There are still 2 more rocks left for each team now. I read the graphic too quickly, as the rock was already out of his hand.
Nose gets the job done. A little high is fine too. I don't think it's going to do anything. So.
Accountability matters in the booth, Danny. You make a mistake, you call yourself out. You haven't made any, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Run back attempt from Shuster, out turn side.
Whoa! Whoa!
That's well done again, and now takes that draw path away too.
Like this.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think to make this. We're probably hitting right here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Kinda
like
wait.
the in turn,
Yep.
like 11.
Okay.
Just don't
Just
need
11.
to kill both stones.
I think to
They-
stay behind that guard.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
I can
trying to
throw
figure out
10-5
the right
if you
weight to
prefer.
get both of these rocks moving and still roll underneath
11
the
plus.
corner on the other side and get
The hair
shot.
less.
So 11 is what they settle on, right around board weight. In turn for Dropkin. Trying to hit
Yep. Whoa.
thick half on this stone.
Weight's good.
How's the weight? Whoa. Whoa. Curl.
Has to get up a little bit.
Got it.
Just a hair thinner than what they wanted. Rolls a little too far to be underneath, but does sit shot rock.
Close.
Yeah. Good throw. Go crazy.
Yeah, but
And
I
those
mean, if
types
you
of
roll
shots,
over to bite
Danny,
the
is
forefoot,
where the
right,
mixed
really,
double
you're
strategy
not-
is
you're not
different
playing
from the
tight to the
men's and
guard or
women's,
anything,
as
so- but-
you don't retain hammer with a blank, so you're still
But
going
I still
hard
think
at
I want
your
you to
2
throw
no
nine
matter
here.
what.
Okay. You think like
right, yeah, you see a lot more times in doubles.
Just inside the
quarter
edge of it.
onto it?
You, the
If-
team with hammer with their
I've
second
been
to
when I
last
was throwing
shot,
these-
maybe playing
played
a
here the other day, I was throwing
freeze or
head drop
come
with
around
normal, and I was
something.
running right to the nose, so
Whereas
I
men's
think
or
you can
women's,
throw it. Yeah.
you know, you see them just taking a
hold it
blank
too.
and being okay with moving on to the next one here. But yeah, like you said, you know, if Aileen makes this, even if that
Here,
other
here's over
yellow
girl
rolled
stop.
out of the house,
Curl.
Corey will be forced
For
here.
real?
Yep.
All right.
Geving playing firm weight. It's outside, just making sure to take the ice out of it. Great roll
Great
under
shot,
the corner, too, to cut the draw off a little bit for scoring space.
The
So
intern.
it'll be a draw to the
Okay.
basically full 8 foot for Thiesse.
15.
Yep. I think that's the number.
Nice and quick here.
Yeah.
We'll get our rock clock in play again.
You got it, Korey.
Final stone of the third end. Corey Thiesse throwing the intern draw.
Pause line.
Mine's good.
Malfunction
nice.
on the clock.
Hey, wait only.
You got to eyeball it, Danny. Say exactly what the time is once
Yeah, I'll
it
take a
starts.
guess.
Okay.
Here, let's see if I can get a guess here. 14-7.
Gotta sit.
I thought Corey might say it.
I
so-
was hoping he's announce it for us,
Good
but
shot, Korey.
we'll just pretend that was exactly right.
I think it was. We're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So,
Nice throw.
draw is made
Atta girl.
for the single, and it's 2-2. Tie score after 3 ends of play. Third end break. We'll tell you about Warm Room Hero. They're more than just software. They're curlers dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club. That's Warm Room Hero at curling.club. So our other semifinal matchup, Matt and Becca Hamilton. 2 steals to start this game, now leading 5-0 after that steal of 4 in the first, adding another point on in the second. In total control in that matchup. They're just finishing up the third end. We'll keep you updated on what's going on over there.
I like the same way if I can.
First stone from
Yeah.
Corey Thiesse right to the lid. Good spot to start things out.
Yeah, that first rock and double is so important. Putting that in a good spot, you miss that one, and you feel like you've missed 3 shots.
Yeah, and it gives your
push out,
opponent
so
with hammer
wait
such
for
an
it.
advantage because they may have only thrown
Plenty
1
room.
stone, but they're already sitting 2 if your first without hammer is thrown poorly.
It's all there. Good boy. That's a good spot for us.
Taylor Anderson and Ben Richardson come back with a 3
Freeze right on it.
in that third end, so
Yep.
a 5-3 score now. In mixed doubles, Danny, game's never
Perfect
over.
time.
That one's now to a 2-point deficit.
Yeah, you've seen a lot more crazy score lines and steals and big numbers and doubles.
14-7.
It's definitely a lot easier, just
14-8
like
is
we just
close
mentioned,
here.
especially, you
So-
know, you miss
I would
that
take
first
this
shot or
inside
just one
middle.
shot at any point in the end.
Take-
It's so critical. You feel like you're behind the 8 ball so much, so,
Like it's
you know,
10.
one shot goes wrong, and
Yep.
it's a big swing.
See the time clocks behind the players. 12 and a half minutes and counting for TC and Dropkin, so a little behind pace. Not drastically low, but you'd like to be around 11 minutes
11?
at the break to be on pace. And over 14 for Geving and
mine's good. You
Shuster.
got
John
some room.
plays
You got some room
fast
right
in
now.
every
Top 4.
version
More
of
room than
curling
mine.
you can imagine, so not a big surprise there.
Oh,
I like it.
hey, it still needs to curl.
Wants to come down a hair.
Turning over and slowing down. Yeah, good shot there.
Okay.
Really good spot.
Good
Good
throw.
position
We
for
can lose
TC and
for sure
Dropkin.
one red. I just try not to lose this yellow just so they can't just peel off the end. But I think the back red should go pretty easy.
Do you think you just hit what you can see of it?
Yeah, and that one might, I don't think it's going to gear anywhere, but I got to hit less than what I can see probably to get it where I could squirt it off the button. But I mean, I can only see a third
Right.
probably. So if I get the guard, I get the guard here.
Shuster throwing some weight again. He's made a few of these already, trying to get all these rocks moving.
Yep. Yep.
So important to know when to bail in these games. Sneaks by.
All right. Bars goes.
Rock goes
Good
to
job,
the
Aileen,
outside
that
of the 12 foot with
Just put it
hammer.
right
They're
back.
not real concerned about that stone.
Sure. Yeah.
Here.
And Danny, you played with
Want me to time again?
Vicky
Yeah.
Persinger for this national
ice.
championship.
Yep.
Vic, obviously an Olympian in this discipline, so talk a little bit about what it was like jumping on a team with somebody with that type of experience and pedigree in the mixed
16
doubles
to
game.
20.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. Super fun week. Not the result that we hoped for, but even the season as a whole. Playing with Vicky, she's, like you said, got the experience. And me, I'm still a bit new to doubles, so it's been really nice to talk through things with her. She's seen how a lot more scenarios play out than I have, and the other part that helps is when I'm
Mine's
sweeping,
similar.
I have no idea where it's
Like
going.
it.
So she
Mine's good. You gotta curl a
gives
little
some
bit.
recommendations too for when to sweep.
Gotta curl.
It
Always
seems
curl.
like you guys have a good rapport together on the ice, too. You enjoy playing with each other, and your last few seasons playing mixed doubles between her and Delaney Strauss, seems like you work well with intense teammates that have strong personalities.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I think
that
you
doesn't-
can,
that doesn't set up a great angle
watching
on that
doubles
side,
or
but it does
men's,
make it where we can get rid of that. I mean,
top priority
I could
for me
actually
is
roll all the way
having
away
fun.
right now and they
Yeah.
can't
I
lie
always
too
feel
without
like
getting
I
this
play
wrong.
better when I'm having
So, I mean,
fun.
I
I'm
could
sure that's
roll-
the case
make
for
just
most
roll
people,
over to
but
this
in different
double area,
ways.
And then,
So, I like
at
to
least
think
it's an
I
extra rock in there.
make
But then
things
I'm gonna have
light
to
out
make some
there,
sort of
which
double run. But I think I
hopefully
don't think
helps,
we have a
especially if
I think
it's,
so
an
too.
intense teammate. So yeah, I think it's an interesting balance to have on a doubles team. Those two
I
different
mean, the only issue we're
personalities.
gonna have is if I roll and leave them a double off this and catch ours and sit two dead buried in a line would be the only. So that's why I think I got to almost.
Plus, in
err
an
in
event
rolling
like this,
out.
I can spend half my time making
not
fun of my
trying to. I'm
opponents,
trying to
whether
roll
it's
it.
John or Corey.
Oh,
and,
sure.
I'm just gonna throw
you
you
know.
an 11.
We expect that.
Yeah,
That's necessary.
that's probably the most fun part.
Yeah. This can be fun. We forget that from time to time.
Yeah, it's a good thing to remind ourselves.
Intern pass for Shuster.
Whoa, clean, clean. Yep, yep.
Like to stick around if they can, just
Hey,
hitting
whoa,
the
whoa.
outside stone. It's a little staggered with that red. So don't think they can just pocket it and lose the two yellows. Good position there.
Ah, that really curled.
Yeah.
I mean, that was off the rock.
That actually, if it curls another inch, it's a bad spot because
Right.
if it's cornered on that red, both yellows go out pretty easily. So that's one where there's two good results surrounding one really bad one. You just got to stay out of the middle.
Right, and even then, still an opportunity for Corey here to maybe get a roll and set up some good angles for them as well.
Close.
Yeah, if he can
Whoa.
roll in
Little
on
heavy.
this
Close.
shot on top of their own
Whoa,
stone,
curl.
they'll be really well positioned.
Hard. Whoa,
Dropkin
careful.
leaning on this, getting it to turn
Curl,
over.
curl, curl. Yep, go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
Pretty good.
That's such a weapon
Gotta
to
go,
be able
Korey.
to do
Nice.
that
Nice
too,
call.
with that type of weight
throw.
to still get the rock to move.
Nice.
Now the
That's what
angle's
being
lining
shot, I
up
think.
really well.
I mean, even if I just freeze it, they probably don't have a ton. I think I can throw back, like I can throw you natural T.
Yeah.
I mean, if I rub the guard,
I
don't
like
think, it's
bumping
probably
it a
really
little.
bad if you rub the guard. What's that?
I do like moving it. a
No,
little.
no, I'm trying to move it out of being shot because
Yeah,
we
okay.
got a piece of the button. We can lie two with this, to
Right.
be honest. So like, but I got to play it kind of tight. So I'm gonna try to throw you like a 15.
Sounds good.
You ever say that, Danny? Or Corey dropping in the background saying, "Be one with the stone." Do you have a
don't-
mantra like that?
I don't think I do,
You want
but
to come carve
Get
it?
ready.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
It's totes. It's going backwards still.
I don't think I've ever said it. Pretty certain
I
on
don't think
that.
carving's going to help much. I know it's going to happen.
I'm trying to envision what that would feel like, and I'm not quite
Probably
sure.
knows our back one.
But
Yep, keep
it's
going,
obviously
you got a
worked for
little
him. So.
Made of granite, no emotion whatsoever.
Right.
That just ticks off that rock and rolls to biting side of the forefoot, but kind of a strange stagger on those yellow
Right.
stones.
Right.
You can do this.
Or just draw in here.
Yeah, whichever one you like.
Yeah, I like that draw
fine.
that
Yeah.
settles in there and doesn't move those stones. I don't know how you don't
is really
steal,
great here.
honestly.
Yeah, it's an
Just a
interesting
hair on the
position.
inside.
Maybe if that yellow didn't quite
like
roll
that.
as far over, you'd see
Good.
a hit
Yeah,
and roll from
love it.
Corey.
It's making
But
good.
yeah, like you said, you draw in here with all that backing, it's hard to not steal.
And you don't really want to move anything either. If it
Right.
just settles into that pocket, your shooter right now is probably
pro
never
side
going
would
anywhere.
probably be tapping that yellow, because I think if we are a little short, they're going to have the in-off off that outside yellow for 2.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah, well
just
thought
to
out
talk
by
it through.
Dropkin there,
But
too.
let's make this good.
If it
the hair
over-curled
rise
and
that
it
I'm
was
thinking?
short,
Yeah,
they might have
starting
the
nice,
in-off
15.
for
Yep.
2 off of their own stone.
Make a good core.
If
I
it's
got
deep
you.
in taps, it's unlikely they'd be able to get more than 1.
Right, it's so important to be able to point out the pro side misses, as we say, especially in doubles.
How's line?
Mine's good.
Okay.
Thiesse's final
four.
stone of the
Okay,
semifinal matchup, first half of the game.
Whoa. Stay close.
Just looking to
Stay
freeze
close.
side of the button.
Mine's good. Stay close.
They've been so good
Whoa,
with
it's gotta
positioning
curl.
stones all week long.
Stay close.
It looks to be
Don't want
all
to.
there.
It's really curling.
Yep,
close.
I know. You're just leaving it.
Don't want to move it much.
It's a great shot.
Should be good.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's really well placed.
This is. I don't even know what matters. I mean, I don't think it really matters which one you hit
I was
first, to
just
be
going to
honest.
ask that.
I think you want to hit our yellow first, but I'm saying you're hitting it dead at the crotch at the same time, but you want to err on hitting yellow first.
Okay.
Do you think that
So-
catches the other red, Danny? If you catch the pocket?
Well, we
It's
played
close.
It's close. I
It
mean,
is.
you heard John say you probably want to
I'm gonna
err
shake the
towards
edge of the red.
hitting
Yeah,
that
that's-
yellow
that's what it
first,
needs
and that
to
would,
do.
you know,
I
make
just
it more
try to hit
likely.
at the same
I
time.
think that's right, yeah. It should miss the back yellow, so
Throw good.
if they're correct, it could be for 2. So Geving, final stone, she's been magnificent this week.
Close.
Trying to pocket these 2 stones and hope that it catches the second red.
Close. Yep.
Oh, it didn't
Oh,
touch
just whiskers
Close.
it.
One red.
it. Good try.
So it is a steal of
Yeah.
1. Eyelash
Actually,
away
you might
from
not
a
even
2.
have read it.
I
You
don't
have
know if
some
it was with.
At the break,
Okay, I'll go, Core. Nice set.
the world champs Thiesse and Dropkin leading
No,
3-2.
I'm trying to think about that.
Halfway through, it's time for the Broomfitters break. Broomfitters.com is the place for good curling gear and fast shipping on everything curling. For a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. Visit Broomfitters.com. Update from Sheet B after a 5-0 start for Matt and Becca Hamilton. That game is tied up after a 3 and a steal of 2 by Taylor Anderson and Ben Richardson.
That's pretty darn close, right?
Mixed doubles, Danny.
Typically not quite curled up.
Yeah, everything's
So
on the
that's the
table
same
in
way.
doubles.
And our feature matchup, Shuster and Geving, using their power play to start the second half of this game, the 5th.
Close. Close. Yep.
John Landsteiner, it's always faster after the break when they run that mop.
Hard.
Got to keep that in mind. Got to remind Steiner all the time, Danny. He forgets.
Yep.
Doesn't pay any attention to detail, so. And
it's
the
good,
dead
Cor.
zone. Ooh. Does stay in place, so the corner is cleared. Again, first 3 shots
I mean,
of every
in front
mixed
their
doubles,
rock is
and
great.
you cannot
Yeah.
take
So,
anything
I still
out of
think don't
play.
cheat it too much.
You can move
Yep.
stones
I think
around.
15's good here.
So that stone
better
stopping
be
on the back line means everything stays where it is. Tyler George here with
Oh, it's like
Danny Casper. Again, the star of First Take. Danny had a clip played on ESPN the other morning with Chris Mad Dog Russo
that's close actually.
telling Stephen A. Smith that curling is the 4th most difficult sport to play of any sport in the world. We appreciate the respect from Dog on that. We'll take him curling anytime. I think, Danny, you probably have
Mike,
to be
over here?
involved as
Yeah.
the guy that was shown in the clip for the
Hit
example.
more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost tempted to get Stephen A. out there as well. He did not agree at all that curling is one of the harder sports out there, so we
Mine's
got to
nice.
prove him wrong.
Where?
Seeing T
I
line.
don't tend
Okay, it's
to
gotta
agree with
curl.
Stephen A. on much anyway, so I think
Really
it's a
needs to
good
curl.
sign
Hair
that he
bump.
disagreed
Fair,
with Dog
that's
there.
yeah,
Yep, we're
that's a
back.
fair point.
Back 8.
We did not invite him along for the curling portion.
Okay.
Freeze attempt bounces
Okay.
off.
It's not awful. We gotta make a good one now.
Good.
What'd you got?
14-1. Yeah.
Gotta roll it to the button.
Danny catching his
Yeah,
first
well,
grief
it's almost
from
better to
the
roll out
peanut
than
gallery
to
back
nose
here in the
honest.
curling stadium booth.
I don't know what I did to deserve this.
It usually means they like you.
Come on,
You know how it is.
Are you going
You know,
okay?
if you don't get ripped, you're in trouble.
I'm gonna throw you a 10.
But see, the issue is we can say whatever we want about them, and everybody hears it. They can only say it in our ear.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Nobody hears
Curl.
them.
Spin it however we want.
Yeah, we can say whatever we want. It's the beauty of having the mic. We got the power.
That's fine. That's fine.
So hit and stick from Geving. Sweeping for Shuster. Now sitting 3, looking
Corner
to
rock right here.
convert on this power play. And so important, Danny, using the power play this early. And
Show me-
again, not
show me, bro.
unusual for Shuster. We've seen him do this consistently for him and Aileen, but even in years past, too.
It
With
might
whatever
curl up
team
a
he's played
hair.
on.
Okay.
Likes to use the power play early, coming
like
out of the
that
break
ice?
if they have hammer.
Yeah.
We've seen it multiple times this week. So if you don't have
The
it the
hair
rest of
last.
the game, really
Hey.
need to try to get 2 or more this end.
Yeah, like you said,
The hair
John has
last.
become known for using it so early and has typically done a good job of getting multiple out of it. But, you know, you definitely, in a game like this, need to find a way to get a couple.
Yep. Yep.
Would like to get a clock on that one with Dropkin throwing some pretty good smoke, but it's in the wrong spot. Ends up rolling over the top of that yellow stone. They're trying to
It's right to the pin.
make a double at
Dead even
least
with everything.
somewhere, and really didn't get anywhere near. Unusual
In or out?
mistake there from Dropkin.
Which one have you been throwing more? Probably in.
In.
This is better back button than it is top.
Right.
top
For
eight.
them to
But
be able to roll.
I'm not gonna try to throw it there on my own. I'm just saying. Just to,
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's such a funny paradigm for Shuster, too, as somebody who played with him extensively, that he doesn't want to be
Right
talked to
off.
in the
It was
hack
soft, though. I think
at
it's gonna be
all
okay.
in men's. And it's
All
a
it needs is
constant
full 12,
conversation
so-
in doubles, but he still seems to thrive on it. So
it's curling nicely.
maybe it's something we should tell Colin and
Backside of
John and
T-line.
Matt, like, just get in his ear all the time.
Okay.
Apparently he's going to
Easy.
play well when
Yeah.
you do that.
Easy.
And see how John
Oh,
reacts
maybe
to
now you want to
that.
go back.
Even, you know, while he's sliding. Try that out.
Yeah,
That's a good spot for it.
Yeah. Whoa, easy there. Slow down. Jeez, John. Hit the brakes. That settles into the
It's T-line or
back of the eights, but
Wait,
that's
easy
actually a
feel.
good spot.
Yeah, another
Nice
tough shot here for
cut
Korey.
through.
Yep.
If you're John here, you're pretty much trying to make these next couple doubles that Korey and Korey are going to throw as hard as possible.
Don't know if he's firing this one like the
Hey,
last.
Korey, I think I like firm here.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay,
don't need a
similar
clock
ice,
for
though.
firm. We'll
Okay,
get rid
I
of
like
that.
that.
That's just wasting
Yeah,
energy.
that's boring.
Yeah. But probably the correct weight to play here because you're only playing the double and it's thin, so it doesn't take a ton of weight to play this. And if it over curls, you can still play to a roll with firm.
Oh,
Right.
girl, hard! Hard! Hard!
Needs to get up to
Go,
make
go, go.
contact. My goodness. Couple errors from Dropkin here.
Yeah. Just that little pop, it like didn't want to come back.
Haven't seen that all week really from this team. A couple unforced errors.
Way
Way over.
No, I think it might be like right here. Like
Now it's all rock
might be the spot
placement
right here.
for Shuster
I
and
don't think they're
Geving.
gonna be
Where
chasing
is the
that
best spot
like
to
this.
not
Just
leave?
gotta make sure I put it dead in the center.
Well,
of these two
obviously a
rocks,
triple,
Aileen.
but if you can avoid
that
an
better
easy
than over
double,
here?
that's
So we're
ideal.
just
And
grouping
there
rocks.
isn't a
That's
good one
triple
right
country.
now.
That's not
Right,
where
you
we're
heard
going.
John say you're probably going to leave
Yeah, that's true.
a double wherever you go. It's just a matter of, like you said, making it the hardest possible.
Yeah, it's
and
almost better to throw
you know,
this
you're-
through the house than to short it in the top 12 or
You're
something.
okay with giving Korey a double
If
and
I just
taking
make this
3
thing
here. Obviously, you want to try to get 4
backside
out of
of
this,
T-line.
but you know, you take what you can in doubles.
Almost wouldn't mind playing the freeze to the red stone in the outside 12s.
Yeah,
19.
If it's on it, I don't think any freeze would outcount the other two, so you'd be freezing against a 5.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think maybe the back of the 8-foot that they originally pointed to is probably where they're going for. Try to stagger it between these
Right
two.
off then. We're just gonna make a pair of pants back here. That's no good.
It needs to sit, not want it sitting next to that one. Dropkin trying to just set up the easy double, which it's not
Onto it.
right next to each other, but
Freeze on which?
yeah, pretty makeable double
You need to freeze here,
if they choose to
freeze
play
here.
it. They're talking about the
but
freeze.
it's dangerous.
It is dicey.
I think you pick
yeah,
whichever
that's
shot you like
against the
most.
game probably.
Kind of thinking the double, but
Okay.
if you like the freeze, I'm okay with it.
I mean, if you make
I
the
got
double,
one that you're
Danny,
comfortable with.
You wanna talk
your
to
worst case is down 2 with
Yeah.
hammer and you have your
Timeout.
power play. They're
Right.
going to call timeout and talk about this now, so they know how important this shot is. We'll listen in, see if we can catch
Make
some
the double, give up 3.
of the conversation with Coach
If I don't,
Kathy O.
freeze.
This is a
Okay.
very interesting
But if you do
decision.
make the freeze good,
It's probably a force.
Yeah.
Freeze good. She might try to go for something and
right?
maybe we end up stealing. But it's either double or the freeze.
Yeah, what do you like? Okay.
Okay.
Kind of what I was thinking too. Right,
Yeah.
but if I don't make it, it's no good.
Right. Yeah. Double and spin over here. Make her make a decent one for the 3.
Okay.
You like that?
Okay.
Perfect, thanks.
Out
You like-
turn?
yeah, you like your out turn?
Yeah.
Like right here?
Yeah. I think you can really hold it here. So,
I think right here gets a good spin up.
yep.
So after talking about it, they are going to play the double, and I think, and you agree, Danny, that this is the correct shot.
Like a half to thin half.
You're only down 2
Feel?
at worst case scenario if you make this double. If they stick around on their last, you still have your power play left. If you convert that to get a 2, if you use it in the 6th, you're tied up with 2 ends to play, and you probably get hammered in the 8th.
So you're out
Right.
turn, so might go a little
And yeah, they're
straighter.
still going to
Yeah.
try to
Might
make
take the
something
ice
a
that
little
you're
bit extra out of
feeling.
this. They're going to, you know, make the double. You heard them talk about trying to spin up a little
Pretty
bit.
good. Thin half.
You know, Eileen's still got to make a hit and stick. You know, you assume everyone at this level makes it, but you know, you still want to watch the other team have to make a shot.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
This is a little on the tight side out of hand. Don't want to go over the top.
Hard.
Does that rock get out the back? Well, it doesn't
Really good,
matter
Korey.
with the
sit,
other
Sit.
Sit.
red.
Really good, Korey.
That's a pretty good result. I think their second shot.
Oh, I should have swept it. probably is.
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's
still doesn't
tricky
matter
if they
your
are
point time.
second.
Yeah, just. I mean,
It's a short little run
Let me
for
just look at this.
3 on the
Go through. I'm just gonna
inside,
make
but you
sure
have
here.
to hit the #1 counter to play it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take that if you're Korey, I think. It's
Yeah.
better than them throwing an open nose hit for 3 or even a draw.
That's an eyelash away from a draw for 4. If that curls another, probably half an inch. So
Yep.
the best spot and the worst spot, again, that close together.
it's too close to not probably
That's
hit it,
so
I think
close
we
to
do it.
being
I think you
really
put the room
bad.
on the inside edge of our
I
rock.
A
like
great
thinking
sweep.
So, 9.5.
So I heard 9.5. They're just going to play normal, try to hit the inside 2/3, somewhere there, maybe even a little thinner. 4-3 for Geving and Shuster. Important
A
shot.
little straight here on the wall side.
Yep.
Yep. Hard! Hard!
With over curls, and it's just a 2.
You're due to overcurl on an upturn
Yeah.
this week at some point. It's all right.
So big tournament events there.
That's the same spot for Annie's went crazy.
Got to feel like you almost stole in that situation if you're Dropkin and Thiesse.
Yeah,
But Shuster and Geving do get their 2 and lead 4-3 after 5 ends of play. Update from Sheet E. Matt and Becca Hamilton take a single in the 5th to lead 6-5 over Taylor Anderson and Ben Richardson. Taylor and Ben have hammer, obviously, in the 6th. So, Danny, essentially a 3-end game there where you get hammered twice down by a point. You got to think that's a coin toss for those two the rest of the way.
Yeah, Ben and Taylor have done a good job to come all the way back in that game. It looked like early on the Hamiltons were obviously pulling away, but like we said in doubles, so much can happen. So they've done a great job sticking with it.
And in our feature matchup, Aileen Geving and John Shuster looking like maybe 3-4 in the picture.
Line's getting better.
End up just with a 2. Thiesse and Dropkin holding on to their power play, not using it as of yet. Perfect freeze from Geving to start the end off. Really well done. How do you feel about the power play positioning for the last 3 ends, Danny? Would you rather use it now, try to get a lead, and then
Felt there to me. Careful.
play more defensively in the last couple ends, or
Line's good.
go hard
Line's
at your
good.
2
We
and
don't-
then use it later, or if you give up a steal, you
Line's
still
really
have it
good.
to use too?
Got a curl.
Yeah, it's a tough debate. I mean, you know, the one thing to keep in mind is you don't want to go the whole game not using your power play. So that, you know, entices you to use it maybe a little bit earlier, but I think we've seen Cory and Korey hold on to it a good amount, and obviously we've talked about John tending to play it earlier, but to be honest, I'm sure you could probably convince me of anything in terms of when to play it here with the power play. I'm still learning myself.
Yeah, it all seems to be preference for these teams. I don't know how the stats play it out,
I think we're okay.
and I'm sure
Line's
they've
really
looked at
good.
it for their own results
Line's really good. Stay close.
with a relatively small sample size.
Yep.
But
Yep.
really then it's just what you're comfortable with too.
Hard. Gotta go.
Shuster playing the out turn,
Get easy now.
tap,
Easy.
T.
Yep. Whoa.
over curling a little bit though. Yeah, this will be an end
Should I
where
just sweep a tiny bit early,
it'd be
but
very
really
difficult
tight line.
to
I didn't want to because I was like,
move stones around. If this is frozen in the pocket
I'm bumping on the nose
of those two on the button.
True.
That's not. We got a T though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've
Yeah, a
ever
little
seen
less,
that
okay.
Okay.
Dropkin throwing the
Line's good. Where?
in-turn draw.
Back 12, back 8.
Whoa.
That setup that's in there right now,
Whoa.
Danny, with the two cornered
No,
on
it's gotta
opposite
curl.
sides of one stone. My father would call
Yep,
that
gotta
Mickey
go.
Mouse setup
Hard curl.
with the two big mouse
Hard
ears.
curl. Close. Close. Easy.
Seemed like John and Eileen viewed it more as a
Never thought
tree,
we'd
you heard.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Never
with
thought
the
that
two
would be
stones at the back end of
overcurling.
it, it does look like a
Yeah.
Christmas tree almost. The tree
either gotta
trunk
hit
a
what I
little
can
bit
see in
longer
the
on the
red.
bottom.
Which I can do with soft weight too. I
In
don't
our
care.
first game this
But I'm
week,
just
our
gonna leave 'em
opponents
double
ended
on
up with all 5 of their
And then turn
rocks
side,
in a
yeah.
perfect horizontal line.
Or I got to
at
run our
the
center one back in.
Yeah,
But I
we
got
had
conclusion of
that
an
game.
end. I don't think
I remember that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Kind of had a feeling it was
I
going to
can
be a
see a
strange
little bit
week
of the rock.
with that starting
But again,
Yeah.
right off in the
that
first
was
game.
good.
The
If I ever
That
hit a
wall
yellow
of stones in the
just
back
like
of the
that.
house.
Yeah, like I said, even if I just squeak them all the way out of there, I think we'll be okay.
Right.
So,
7.5 minutes and counting for Geving and Shuster. Just under 8 minutes for Thiesse and Dropkin.
Probably bored.
Pretty close to pace.
Yep. Whoa! 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 Girl! Girl! Oh boy. Girl!
Needing this to turn
Keep
over
going!
just to make
Oh, boy, we're
contact
good.
with the Reds.
Yeah,
Don't
we're
want to double your own. That's
Well, that was a bad
not
way
a
to do
good
it.
result.
Yeah.
There's that
Can I
straight
throw
side you
this
talked
way?
about, Danny.
Yeah, it's, you know,
I
the
think in
sheet
the
as a
intern
whole,
they
we've seen be a little bit straight throughout the week, but
Why do you come time?
Sure.
yeah, especially that side. On the wall side of an end sheet, you see in a lot of clubs tend to be straight. But John
do
knows
think the
that. I
side
mean,
is
it
just
might
a
be
little straighter
something
than
in
the
the
other
way
one.
he threw it, or
You want me to
just
throw
got
the
tricked
outturn?
up a little
No,
bit.
I'm fine with it. I'm just saying I don't think you need
Okay.
middle.
Oh, you
I think it's maybe
edge?
like
Or quarter?
just outside. Yeah, quarter.
Okay.
With
think
the
that's
angles
for
set up the
15.
way they
I think
are,
so,
too. If Dropkin can get one underneath the center guard and stagger those stones, it's a lot of trouble right now for Geving and Shuster.
Yeah, I'd say you borderline rather those yellows be
Mine's
not
good.
in the house,
Okay.
considering where they are right
Right.
now, potential catchers
Weight's
for
good.
when
We
you
need
are
a little
trying
bit.
to
It's running still.
clear up the center
Okay.
of
Still
reds.
running, Corey. Take a
Okay.
look. Still got to curl.
Weight's
curl
great.
it if you can. Curl it
Really
if
like
you
to get
can.
across the face of this if
Yep.
you can. Yeah, look at that turn
Go,
now.
go, go.
Perfect.
Really good.
Good shot. Then what is that?
I mean, I think if I make this dead nose or just a shade high, it might, and just stuff it. Dead nose stuff is all
Yeah,
it
to
is.
leave
So,
the rock there.
Yeah.
Out or in?
Out. Better stuff this one though.
Playing the run. Really need to
Trying to think of which way.
make
it's at,
contact
right?
with
Just
some
a
Reds
shade
back there. Here,
across.
John C wants to stuff it. So really wants this right on the nose to leave their yellow in there and maybe kill a couple of the Reds. Big shot here.
Close. Yep.
John likes the
Whoa.
out-turn run in the middle of the sheet. This is his
Yep.
bread
Yep.
and butter.
Yep. All right.
Ends up over curling just a touch. Doesn't stick, loses
Hey,
one
rip
red,
this.
opens things up a little bit.
Probably goes in here.
Yeah.
My first thought was like here.
Okay. So the same turn, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you prefer me throwing the out.
No. I think it's pretty much the same shot, right?
I think I can throw whichever. If we guard this, they're playing this.
Right.
So I think we play that.
Yep, I like it. Basically the same shot.
Yeah, I think Aileen on her last year coming up is
Same thing, you got
gonna
it.
have to go for it.
20.
We'll potentially put the game on the
Yeah,
line
15
with.
or 20.
Got to take a big risk here, depending if this Korey stone ends up in a good spot.
If this is made around the center guard to bite top 4 somewhere in there.
18.
Not sure where Aileen can draw
Okay,
2.
yeah.
I mean, you almost
Pretty
have
similar
to
your last one. Line's good.
freeze to the
Similar
back
line.
and make them
Gonna
make
have
the
to
draw
curl.
for
Yep, I
3.
know.
Okay. Similar line.
This
Keep
has got to
looking.
curl a lot to get under
Gotta
the guard
curl.
still,
Yep.
though.
It's
Lot
wider
of
than the
room.
last one.
Okay, I think I just got to come around.
Maybe got a little faster on that track from a couple
Yes.
rocks.
Might be in a less than ideal
Not awful.
spot. It stopped.
Yeah, that's a
Not bad.
really good read by Dropkin to
Well, I'm just wondering if,
not sweep that deeper and leave
like
the
right now,
freeze
is like
too.
okay with us.
Oh, and just play this double?
Well, I just
Or
even
either. Well,
you get to the inside of nose with a tap, like it's a pretty tough. The
like I
problem
can
is,
tap it all the way back.
yeah, but our we're
Maybe
probably
get
gonna
to
do
the
same height.
inside
Timeout.
of that
Yeah.
one that
Timeout.
Corey just threw, tap it back and roll inside and
Yeah.
sit second potentially.
Even if you sit third there, I don't know if you can sit second.
Yeah,
'cause I don't
third,
think you can
no, they-
outcount the one in the top of the 4-foot there.
I know. I'm just
But even if
wondering
you
there's
tap
ever
it
a
out of the
spot
4s and
like
roll
there
in,
is.
it's kind of a
Like-
tough 3.
Like this,
Right.
if it ever
And if
touches
this
the
goes
backside,
back.
if you touch this rock, you're touching this rock, and they're going.
Right.
Although they
But,
might be able
like,
to
the
just
dead
run that
stuff
top
is
one
like way
into
more
the
likely. 'Cause this
Williston.
is crazy thin, and to get this one moving far enough is pretty tough. And then you're probably picking this, and they're still just hitting that one. Like I think Aileen, I think you're throwing. You got to get to
here.
the inside of nose and push this to here,
Right.
and then
Enough
hope that
at
it's
these.
deep enough where this isn't like it's super thin for it to hit it.
Right.
Like I think it's deep enough where if it comes off here, it goes under it. So I think it's just.
Do I want to push it to,
I mean, in theory, yes, if you can push it
or do
just.
I want to be?
Well, the
the
line is
toucher?
way more important than the weight.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing on this one is like your line has to get
To the
so
inside.
like, but we don't want to go inside and roll where we're frozen on the rock or it's toast. Like nose
Nose
is it.
is okay.
No, nose is where we're going with
Yeah.
this. Like, or just across it. So.
And maybe through the house, weight enough
So
to
for-
bump that
I mean,
red
their rocks are
stone
running down the sheet.
out
Like,
of the
not
4-foot.
really.
And yours didn't move.
And this is
I know.
such
Well,
a
I
touchy
threw- I
shot
was
now,
throwing
Danny,
hack and I
with
was,
how John's
like,
just ran
between the
and
edge
how
of the
Corey's
inside
just
edge of the
ran.
yellow. So I
You
think
probably
if you
need
throw
to tighten up the stick,
Was it
especially
inside
with
edge or yellow?
playing
With-
enough weight to
with
tap that red out of
that
4s.
Or do you
But
think
once you get close to
I
the
mean,
center
my
line
foul
and the
is middle, but I
guard,
think you can take
that's
edge
where
and
it
I
may
can
turn
move
over.
out there for
Yeah,
a
it
while.
gets scary. You get inside the 4-foot lines and
I think 4-0's the number, yeah.
you know, at
I
a
think you're
certain
gonna throw
point,
all
like you
5
said,
on
it
it.
just grabs and curls. So this is a scary
Inside
shot
edge
for
of
the
our rock?
stakes and the line here.
I would be
Like a
worried
third
that
on
this one will turn.
You're just thinking
If they
draw
take
just
less.
the heavy end of your
Heavy
draw.
draw.
Yep, just the heavy end of your draw.
So back 12 type of weight, we think, just to try to move that stone out of the 4-foot. Eileen Geving, her final stone of the 6th for her team.
95.
Close. Well,
It's all there. Back 8, back 12.
close. Curl.
Line looks close.
Curl.
Shuster getting it to turn.
Hard curl.
How much will it curl?
All right.
Ended up just being a lot of weight there, I think. So that's
Play this and draw here.
draw on either side, whichever they prefer. I don't think on that straight line you want to even risk
I guess I'm kind of seeing
hitting
you
Right.
over
turn,
there.
Okay.
like
Um,
edge or
I think
Like
the
right here?
in-turn draw
Side,
looks
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah,
I'd
I mean,
rather
even
hold
if
it
you
around.
need to chisel off that yellow one that's sitting there, there's a couple ways to make this good.
I think edge is okay.
okay,
So I was taking
We've
quarter.
seen Corey
okay.
Dropkin
but I
able to
think you throw like
get
a
rocks
15
moving
and
pretty
a
hard
feed
with
here.
his
Yeah,
sweeping.
agreed.
So
Just a nice easy edge, just inside edge. I can hold it here.
Draw for a 4th point for Thiesse and Dropkin, already sitting 3. This track getting faster and straighter as the end goes.
How's line?
Line's good. Line's
You don't
nice.
have to guess on this one, Danny. I got the clock
Line's
going.
really nice. All you, Corey. Easy. Easy. Where?
Weight's great.
Line looks good
Line's
here.
perfect.
Should be
Weight's
just
great.
fine. Settles
Just a
into
good
the
shot,
4-foot for a 4th
Yep,
point.
four.
4 times for the world champs.
Girl, nice weight.
They now lead 7-4 after 6 ends of play.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Sixth. On sheet E in the other semifinal matchup, Taylor Anderson, Ben Richardson answering with a 2 in the sixth end. They lead 7-6 over Matt and Becca Hamilton. Playing the seventh, Matt and Becca have hammer. Back and forth over there. And on our sheet, after dodging a bullet in the fifth end, only giving up a 2, Cory Thiesse and Corey Dropkin come back with a 4 of their own.
See minimum.
In the sixth end.
Good.
And they lead
Nice.
7-4. Playing the seventh end.
Good. Go if you
Geving
have
and
to.
Schuster
Go if you have to. Line's
with
really
hammer.
good.
They've already used their power
Curling
play,
now.
Danny. So
Really curling now.
they're going to need to get
Yep, go for it.
2 or
Just
3
line.
the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, that was big for Cory and Korey to get.
No,
Obviously the 4, but
Good throw.
not even you having to use their power play. So,
Good sweep.
Very nice.
Oh, okay.
Across it.
you know, they can.
Edge.
They still have that weapon at their disposal to close out the game here.
Now, obviously, their decision to hold on to the power play is paying dividends with, regardless of what happens in this end for Geving and Schuster. If they get their 2 or 3, you're still coming back with your power play, which makes it so much easier to defend against the steal in the final end.
Line's getting better.
It's got a lot of
curl
ground to do.
still.
Coming down to 15 though. Good.
Outturn freeze attempt from Geving on a really
Great
good
spot,
line.
Aileen. Beauty.
That's a good one there. And that tap by Thiesse on the
Absolutely
first
perfect.
Read
shot
on
at the
red?
end.
Yeah, I think so.
Not
Okay.
great to move that stone
Speed's
back.
nice here.
Unlikely it
20.
counts, but
15 to
at
20,
least more accessible, that stone in the back of the 4-foot, to move it around to make any other stones that you throw in the house count.
I had an 11, but it looked a little
Yeah, not ideal to move that one back. I mean, it's,
Line's nice.
you know, better than probably
Line's
bouncing
really
and
nice.
chipping
Weight's
off
good.
and leaving the
Similar
4-foot
line
open
to
or
mine.
something like that. But I
Easy,
think
got
we'll have to
got
see
some
John
room.
and Aileen taking some risks in this
Close.
end. They need
Line's good.
a few
great.
at least. We mentioned
Yep.
Corey and Korey still have their
Yep.
power play, so you know, you're probably not even comfortable scoring 2
Okay.
if you're John and Aileen.
All right. Got to get to the inside nose of that just like he just was.
Yep.
Special
dead nose is
delivery
probably even better.
to the
If
booth
I get inside, they
from
might be-
Dr. Lance Wheeler.
What?
Breakfast burritos for the commentary
Oh,
crew.
If I'm dead nose, I can bump
None for the staff, who look absolutely
it. Yeah, I
furious
think we gotta
right
move
now.
him a little bit, so.
Maybe they get a hug at least from Lance.
I can get used to this.
There's some controversy back here now. My goodness. See that, Danny? First time in. Look at the treatment you
Yeah,
get.
this is great.
May have heard us mention these
Go ahead, yep.
breakfast
Whoa,
burritos
whoa.
from Lance Wheeler and
Whoa.
Claire Moores
Whoa,
before.
so.
These things are fantastic, so
Tensions are high back here now, though, with only a couple of us getting it.
there's a lot going on here now. We got to try to focus on
roll
this
us into
game.
the house. Keep going, keep going, keep
Our
going.
mics might get
Keep going,
cut. We
keep
might
going.
get mugged.
As far as it goes, all the way in, Aileen. All the way in.
Schuster Stone chips the guard, opens the 4-foot up a little bit.
How
Okay.
did we guard?
I'm in the guard.
I'm having trouble focusing right now. I'm so happy.
It's burritos looking at me funny.
Oh, just you wait. It's the best breakfast burrito you'll ever have. Making sure this stays wrapped up and warm. I'm gonna
I
put
think
it
make
back
them
in my
chase
bag.
now at this point.
Sure, I like it. Thinking like a quarter? Maybe a hair more?
Yeah.
Probably a hair more.
Yeah.
So with the 4-foot open, Thiesse and Dropkin can handle this end however they want. They like how the rocks are set up, so they're going to continue to draw. A lot of times, in the men's game, the women's game, you might see
Yep, a little
some
bit.
big weight thrown here just
How's
to
line?
try to make sure you stay away from a big end with a
Just need to
3-point
sit.
lead,
Yep.
but Angle's
outside the
playing
house.
really well for Thiesse and Dropkin.
Might be in the house.
Yeah.
And in doubles,
maybe we'll
too,
let
you know,
sit.
you're throwing that draw
Maybe we'll
around
let
the
sit.
center
Sit
so
down,
many
maybe-
times, you get so much more comfortable with it.
That's not bad. Through and
It's
through
much
here
easier
and
to
roll
call
under
when
here
you've
and
thrown
line.
it a bunch of times.
Yeah, there is a
just playing the hit
possibility
and
of
roll in
setting
front
up
of our
a
yellow, and I
big
think
end still now with that rock rolling
I
in the
have
house.
to maybe. I'm not sure if two of them go or
Getting
not.
deep
but-
in the house.
I mean, one of them goes for sure, but the second one's kind of dicey.
They're trying to make a double and roll. That back one might catch on the yellow stone, but probably still goes out.
So I think that one will go.
Schuster playing
Close. Whoa,
peel
whoa.
and trying to roll in under the corner. Maybe lose two of the reds. Over curls, but that rock's spilling. Not a terrible result. If that red rock would have gone out, all of a sudden it would have been 2, 3, and 4 for Schuster and Geving. Now just second and
freezing to the
third, but the
one.
angles aren't terrible.
Hitting or
No,
freeze?
freeze.
I like the freeze.
Danny's
Yeah.
completely
That was my
lost right now thinking about a
Point
burrito.
fives might line this
I
up,
mean, that just rattled me like nothing else could have.
but it's pretty good if we get to the nose.
Yeah. You like right on
Being
nose?
offered, we're being offered moldy oranges
I
from
think so.
Rory
Maybe a
and
hair
John
high?
in the booth.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a
Hey.
trade or a
Basically
barter or
sit
something,
2/3 to
but
3/4.
it ain't happening. So Dropkin playing the intern freeze, we believe. Or 2/3, that's where they want to freeze on that rock in the top of the
Mine's
4-foot.
Felt a little shy.
Hey,
Placement so
Mine's
important
good.
here. Erring on the
Mine's
short
nice.
side
Wait
too,
only.
Danny. Don't
Wait
want to
only.
bounce off on this line.
it's got a curl.
Yeah,
Got a
you're
curl.
you're
Hey.
trying to limit John and
Hey,
Aileen
girl.
if you're Cory and Korey in this end. And like we said, they have their power play, so if you leave them to a couple, you're fine with that. So
Really good.
yeah, that's
Great
nice.
shot.
Pretty flat, but I think it'll go.
Schuster going
I have to
outside
throw
the
this
box,
really hard, so
playing
you can
off
go
of their
through if you want.
biter.
I'm not sure if you couldn't keep up on my last one.
Which?
It's probably like 2/3. I got to throw the intern to get action too, so.
Thinking like here?
Edge. I got to hit 2/3, Aileen. It's,
Okay.
yeah.
So Schuster thinking the only way to try to get a 3 still is to play off this stone. They don't want to lose any of their own, which they'd have to just playing a straight on hit. So throwing a burner, the in off on this rock in the top of the
Tell me I'll get
12.
their back one.
Sticks on their own stone. Nice catch by Aileen on
just
that rocket.
Okay.
They're gonna have this,
Yeah.
but it's only for 2.
Right.
So you heard Dropkin say they'll have the slash on
guess I
that
don't really
corner
know what we're
guard for
guarding.
2, but it's a max of 2.
Yeah, I think
don't know
if
what we're
you
guarding.
told Cory and
True.
Korey before the end started
You
that
ever like hitting the yellow
Eileen
and rolling?
would likely be just playing a
Or we
very
just nose that
difficult
yellow
shot
guard.
for 2 max,
Or
they
we
would
guard it
take that.
ourselves.
Because that's her
And
spot
now
right
you
now.
That's
heard
her shot for
Dropkin
2.
say he's not sure what they're
I
guarding.
think I like nosing it.
What
If
can
it
they
rolls
make on the
inside,
center
okay.
there?
Over the inside.
Yeah.
So maybe the
Thinking
now
intern.
talking about nosing the
that
Yellowstone so they don't have that run in,
Were you
which
in?
I agree with. I don't see any way in for 2 if they don't have
I
that
don't like
slash,
left
right?
edge rock.
Right.
I like nose.
There's no shot they
Like
can
nose
play in
and
the
then
center
half
where
rock
they
on the
could
inside,
stick for
okay.
2.
Peel.
Yep.
Middle of the rock.
Yep.
Okay.
Peel or firm, one of the 2.
Okay.
So just a nose hit here for Thiesse. Or roll off as long as you don't
Close. Whoa.
slash it in.
Whoa. Easy. Easy.
Yeah, trying to stay on the inside to make sure.
Shoot. Okay. That's a good shot.
I think that's fine. Don't see
Very
that
good,
that
Korey.
helps any
Still
rolling
probably
over there.
Good.
Yeah,
Danny,
I
looks
think-
like it's just a run in for 1.
4 minutes.
Yeah,
because
another
that should
tough
drag.
shot.
Or is
Yeah,
it?
but just go for it. I
Gevin's
mean,
been
you just
throwing
jam
a
it.
lot of difficult shots
I mean,
in this
if
game.
you throw peel at it, there is a place to go scrape for 2. Like where it just touches red, touches yellow, maybe.
Oh, I
like
see.
It,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. It might.
It's got to be peel, but then at the same point, like you hit it wrong, and it's, I mean, down 2 without with the power play on there, and it's not
Right.
looking
But
very
if
good
we're
anyways.
a steal is no good.
Still a good end from
You can see they're rocking
Cory
the
and
button too
Korey.
with this intern. You could just
Result-wise, making Eileen throw a
Probably
hard
easier.
shot for
Because that one you have a tiny
you
the
heard
other
John
one-
say maybe 2 if you get a little
It's
fancy
there,
with
well,
it.
maybe
but
if you go tick tick. It's maybe there.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he's saying if you nose run the red and it ticks the red in the top of the 8-foot, ticks the yellow in the top of the 4-foot, still has enough to push that red stone off the button.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just nose, right?
Yeah.
Final stone of the 7th, Aileen Geving, playing the run on this red guard, probably just for a single. Ooh, pushes their own out and ends up giving up a 2.
It's 2. That's good enough for me. $5. Okay.
And that'll be handshakes with the steal at 2. 9-4 the final. Dropkin and Thiesse, the defending world champions, will move on to the national championship game.
What's going on?
Danny, the scoreboard not indicative of how well played a game it was. And obviously, Dropkin and Thiesse pulling away late, but tightly contested, back and forth, a lot of good shot making throughout.
Yeah, the margin's so tight, even though the scoreboard's largely think back. Cory and Korey got out of that 5th end with only giving up a 2. They were looking at least maybe 3, maybe 4 for a while there, and John and Aileen in this last end had to take some chances. So scoreboard definitely, there's a larger gap than how the game was played, but fun to watch.
So the world champs still undefeated on the week. It's going to take a strong effort from whoever they play in the championship game, whether it's Ben Richardson and Taylor Anderson or Matt and Becca Hamilton. You can switch over to watch the final end of that matchup. We're going to give you a quick score update. That's tied up into the final end, and Taylor and Ben have hammer, so we're going to sign off and let you switch over to that final matchup. And this extra 15-minute break for Danny and I is brought to you by whatever company Dr. Lance Wheeler is a mechanical engineer for, with this burrito showing up. So for Tyler George and Danny Casper, we'll be back at 4 o'clock for the championship matchup here on Curling Stadium. We will see you at 4. Thanks for watching.